Hi, good afternoon, my people. So today I'll be making this tutorial, okay, about this gown. Now there are two methods of making this gown, and that two method is what I'll be talking about in this video. So the first method is pretty simple. Now remember that the beauty of this gown is in the length of the gown. Okay, so it depends on your client, on what your clients want. You can make your own to be up to the knee level, but I want to make my own to be a little bit below, above the knee level. Okay, that's what brings out the security. And if your client now happens to be somebody that has very voluptuous laps and legs, of course, whether you make mistake or not, the person's skin and body structure will pop out the style. Do you understand? So you too is a style that you can rock with your husband, with your fiance, with your boyfriend this season. The season is too hot. The way we wanted the tie wrapper, they walk up and down. So let's bring out our feminism. Okay, this particular style, the key measurement is bust length of the gown and shoulder measurement. That is all. If you see the way I'm going to cut that sleeve you are seeing, it will shock you. The gown length we are using is 30. The bust measurement is 42, and shoulder length is 16 inches. That is by into 2 is 8 inches. That's all we need. Now the neckline we are going to be using is a personalized neckline, which is the person's bust divided by 12. Whatever we got is what we are marking on the shoulder length, and then coming down the neckline is going to be 2.5. Now we are using, remember that this is going to be on fold like this way, so the length we are using is whatever length you want for the shoulder plus the length of the sleeve on this line. Do you understand? Your sleeve length on this line. Now remember, this style has two methods. I want to illustrate it in two ways. Now sometimes when you see a picture, the picture you are seeing might have been edited, so most of the lines will be deleted and you will not understand. Now if you ask me, for this particular style, there is definitely a slit in front. It is because of that slit in front, that center line in front, that is making that keyhole design you are seeing at the chest area to be very sharp at the two pointed end. Can you see it? Now if you say you want to just put your fabric on fold this way and cut out the keyhole, you might be able not to make it to be this sharp. So I always advise you that is a beginner to make your work very neat, and in the process of having to taper it, having to bend it, your work might become very tattered. So if you ask me, I will say create a line in that center front. Okay, cut out your keyhole. I will show you how to do that neatly. Just be patient. Now the first tutorial, we are doing cut together for both the bodies and the sleeve. Okay, we are doing cut together both the bodies and the sleeve. I want to assume that this style was cut together, but with this one I'm going to be doing, we have a limited, how will I put it now, we have a limited space for volume for that sleeve. But let me just do it and show you, then go ahead to do the second one. Now the shoulder, my shoulder measurement is 8 inches plus 21 inches for, I'm not going to be making it 21 inches because why? The sleeve is very long. So I'm going to be adding extra 5 inch to that sleeve. Now 21 plus 5 is 26, right? So I'll be marking my 26 inches somewhere around here. Now if I mark that 26 inches, remember that this is on fold, right? If I mark that 26 inches somewhere around there, I have 34 inches. So I'm bringing it down here again I'm bringing it down here and I'm using the whole of this place. That means I will have joining, but I might end up ignoring this area because that gown is short. So we are still going to trim out whatsoever we have here. So I want to assume that this is right. Now let's go ahead now to mark out what we want to mark out. And this is where I marked, right? 5 inches. We are going to be marking 5 in that 34 inches. That's what I have here. I'm going to be marking 5 inches. I'm going to be marking 24 inches like so. Can you see? Now, this is my shoulder line, right? I'm going to be coming down, okay? So this is my shoulder line for my armhole. But I'll be showing you what I'm going to be doing because I will not want a situation where my armhole is tight. So I will be doing bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Whatsoever I got, I'm going to be marking it here. That means that is where my bust line is comfortable for me, and that is where my sleeve should start. So I will have something like this. I will use my ruler to take it down this way. Okay? And that is all we are going to do. If you want to remove just small, remove. That is mark and cut out. But if you don't want, leave it that way so that everything will be full. Can you see? So what I'm now going to do is make my gown, trim out. Okay? And I'll be using exactly this to cut out for the back. The back pattern will still look like this. So can you see? Now when I open it, I have something like this. Okay, let's mark out our neckline. Now for our neckline, I have 2.5 inches and I have 2.7 inches, but for the back pattern I'm going down by half inch. Can you see? Okay, so and I cut out. Some people might want to trim out something here, but I don't want to trim out anything because I want mine to be very full, my sleeve to be very full. So I'm not trimming out anything. Had it been I'm leaving it open, then I should be able to trim out something so that there will be a little bit of difference. But now I'm not trimming out anything because I want it to be that way. Some people will still tell you that why they trim out something is because they want the sleeve to look something like this. Except you want to do something like this, and it's okay. But in this particular style, why I love this style so much is that whatsoever you do there's no problem. Can you see how it is now? So when you open up, you have something like this. So now I'm going to gather this place like so, gather this like so, okay, and also gather this like so, and also gather this like so. Do you understand? So this forms the balloon. Now I want to cut out for the front. So I want to believe that this is for the back and I've cut out for the back, right? I will set it aside. Now I'm cutting out the front and I want to first cut out my neckline. If you look at, this is my neckline where I'm going to be attaching my bishop collar. If you look at that place, that neckline very well, you will see that that keyhole did not join together there. That means there's a little bit of gap. Now, in this particular one, don't say because I'm cutting on mini measurement now. For this particular design you are seeing, please cut out only half inch. Now, you can, it depends on what your client wants. Your client might want it to go very low the way this one went very low. You can see this slit, that the opening went as low as even the under bust, and this is my under bust right here. I might decide to make my own to be above the bust line, so you are coming down by, this is 2.5 inches here, right? 2.5 inch plus whatever it is, measure it from here, and when you get to 9 inches, that's where you want your own to stop, right? So this is where I want mine to stop, and I'm coming in by just half inch. Can you see? So you curve it out nicely. Can you see? Now you are going to cut out facing for this particular area. Cut out facing of about 4 inch, okay, 4 inches wide, and let it be the length of the gown, because it's going to run through to the down part of the gown. Okay, cut it out. Now you are going to fold it carefully into two. Put it on fold, because this our fabric is on fold, right? This our fabric is on fold. Now you are going to place this one on top of this one like so. Can you see? And you cut this slit together so that it will be exactly the same shade. Can you see what I did? Now, if you don't want to slit your own open, good and fine. This is the back, right? So you can afford to place this one like this, stitch up to this side, and turn it inside out, inside, turn it all through to the back, and make sure that you iron properly so that it will be flat. But if you ask me, to save yourself strength, just do it like this, cut it together. Can you see? Now on the back of this one, around this area, since this facing is 2 inches, iron, it's 2 inches for one side and 2 inches for the other side, right? Now on this main fabric on the back, iron 1.5 inch stay here. Hard stay if you want. Iron it from here to here, 1.5. Also iron it from here to here, 1.5. Now use this one to, you can see it's taking exactly the keyhole shape. Now use this one to stitch around there all through to the down, then turn it to the back and iron properly. The same thing you are going to do, stitch all through to this one, all through to the front like this, turn it to the back, okay, turn it to the back, okay, and you iron properly. Okay, and you iron properly. Then after ironing, remember that this place did not join together on the collar. Just attach your collar like so. Nothing concern you. Just mark out where the difference, what is the difference, and make sure you observe it like this on the collar so that the collar will not short or be too long. Now you come to this side where you joined it. That is where you are going to hold the two when you stitch here and you stitch here. You can as well just use hemming gum to, because we are not going to be top stitching, okay? So put hemming gum in between here as you are stitching, so that when you iron, this particular one will glue to this one. But when you are done gluing, okay, it will be looking like this. Okay, this is how it will be looking after you have finished ironing. So I'm saying lay hemming gum inside here so that this place will glue down, because we are not top stitching, right? Now you are going to hold this one like so. Okay, you will hold these two when you have stitched it together. You will hold it like this, and you will stitch from here down to here. That's all. You turn it down and lay hemming gum on all the whole line, so this particular place will stitch together. That is just what happened in that particular style that you are seeing. That was all that happened. I should my guy is saying I should not do the second style, I should just leave it that they work with this one. But the only difference is that with this one, we are forced to use whatsoever we got as the sleeve. Remember, you're adding elastic here, right? So in this style, we are forced to use whatever we have remaining, which is what I do not want. Because if I'm the one wearing this, I will make the sleeve very big. So let's go to the next tutorial. This is my fabric. I will be placing it on bias, and this is my okay. Now for the second style, we'll be working out with our bodies, okay, the pattern. So the first thing we'll do is to place this on bias. Okay, when you place it on bias, you have something like this. Okay, straighten it out, you have something like this. Now the reason I like working with pattern, I always like working with pattern. In ready to wear business, you can't do without working with pattern, because in ready to wear business, you are dealing with sizes. I think I have to create a size chart and tell you how it works. Now in ready to wear business, you work with sizes. So if I look at you, I know that you're a size 8, size 10, size 12, size 14, size 15. Okay, let's even forget about UK and London. Just know that size 8, size 10. Okay, so I have the patterns in my shop. So when you come and you want to make clothes, you are telling me, okay, I need 10 pieces of size 10 gown like this. Do you understand? So I don't have to come and start telling you what is their best measurement, what is their weight, because I already have it, and this is the pattern I want to assume, right? So I will place my fabric on bias mode, and this is it. Why I will use pattern again is because this is the bias, right? Now if you want to start marking on this fabric directly, sometimes your bust line might go this way. Let me show you. If you want to mark directly, there's no problem, but please know it that if you are using 5 here as 10, please go ahead to still use 5 here as bust. If you are using 5 here as bust, still use it here as a bust line. Sometimes if you are not careful, your hand will shift, and if your hand shift, that's where the mistake comes from. But with what I have done, all I need to do is just carry that my pattern, place it to wherever it fits. Can you see everything entered here, right? So I am not going from here, I'm not going to be following this my order this thing. I'll be following this way. Do you understand? So like so now, this is now the actual gown measurement I'll be using. So let's assume I just went into my store and I brought this out. This is what I am going to be doing. That's all. And you have finished cutting your fabric. This is your gown. Do you understand? Did you see what I just did? And you will also use this to cut out for the back pattern. Do you see? So this is our gown. Okay. Also remember that the back should be longer than the front. Okay. So you can as well just trim it out nicely. Trim it out nicely. So this is our gown. So let's assume that you are using Duchess now. By the time you are done, you will see that all this will fall as flay, and you will have a very full gown. Can you see? With this, you will have a very, very full gown. Now, don't forget that before you start making it to have a full gown, don't forget all the things we said we are going to do about the keyhole. Everything is the same. Okay, everything we did about the keyhole for the other is the same. Now for the sleeve, you already know. Just place your pattern